Hi everyone and welcome along. Now it's still dark and grey and cold outside, so it's all about getting cosy. So today we're going to paint some of my favourite Hygge images. So grab your paints and let's get started.
Oh, right, yes. Let's do some nice cosy things because the weather outside is not nice. And yeah, I was thinking it was a Sunday evening last night because we film at the beginning of our week, and I was sat there planning what I was going to plan for the week, and I lit a candle, I read a book, I did some nice things, we made some cookies, like we just did some really cozy things. And I thought, well, those are all things that I really like doing, and that sums up the coziness of Hygge to me. So yeah, I'd love to know what kind of things make you feel happy and cozy. So anyway, let's draw a jumper, a nice woolly jumper. So I've done this curve, and then we've done a nice neckline. And then if you struggle to draw jumpers or anything with sleeves, if you do two little lines like that, and then you get your curve it down, that allows you to put in some really nice sleeves, because I always find I draw the body too broad almost, and then my sleeves have nowhere to go. So that's a nice little tip from me to you. So we've got a sweet little jumper. Then we're going to do a little kettle or a teapot. So again, a bit like the jumper, we'll do a nice oval at the top and curves coming down around the side. By the way, if you are someone who doesn't really like drawing and you'd like a sort of downloadable line drawing of this, all you need to do is, once we've finished doing the drawing, just do a pause the video and do a screen grab, and then you've got it. Right, there we go, nice little kettle. I'm going to do a book. I mean, the art of painting itself is quite a cozy prospect, but I thought I'd do the things that make me relax, so we'll just put a little leaf on the front of that. Some little corners. Nice one. A little scented candle down here. It's all about curves, isn't it, and ovals. Then we'll have some cookies. It's been quite fun actually. I'm not a very confident baker, but I have been improving, and after a rather dodgy attempt at some cookies a few weeks ago, I have vastly improved my recipe, so Ant's very happy. So there's some cookies, and then we'll just have a mug up here, maybe one that matches. I think let's put like a flower on it. It was like one of those sort of enamel ones that you get on a riverboat maybe. So we'll have a little enamel mug to match it. And also notice how, there's some wobble in my drawings. That's absolutely fine. It's sort of what we want really when we're drawing things like this. And then in the gaps, I think I'll do a few little leaves. So a line for a branch, and then very simple little stem. I know it's not quite autumn, but with the seasons sort of doing kind of what they want these days, let's put in some acorns. So what would you put in if you were doing your very own one here? Because I'd absolutely love it to see you adapting this tutorial and adding in your own favourite things that make you feel good. Let's have a little sprig of berries down here. Okay, lovely. So that's got a nice sort of shape to it, and let's get painting. It's wise if you're a heavy drawer to get a little bit of that pencil off before you start painting, just because it makes your life a lot easier if you want to get rid of the rest of it afterwards. So this is a little putty rubber, a kneadable eraser, which I love to use. And now in terms of a colour palette, now we all really enjoyed looking at colour palettes last week. If I get a little bit of paper, let me show you what I'm going to use. So I've got raw umber, a little bit of buff titanium, cadmium red. I want it to be very sort of warm, cosy. This isn't far off from what we were using the other day, but that is going to be my main colour palette. And then in between that, I'll definitely be sort of using some other tones, extra tone, brown, earthy tones, to just help me along. But that's a really handy reminder for me when I'm painting everything up. So we'll start with our lighter colours first. So I'm just going to go round and paint in each item. I'm going to do a nice sort of light wool knit, so using the buff titanium to sort of outline the sections here. Then I'll get a bit of raw umber in there and just sort of dab away, getting a bit of texture in there. It's still really light, so it'll dry nice and pale, and we can put a pattern on the jumper. It's a nice way of getting a woolly knitted texture. Other pale things, a little bit of moon glow in with some buff titanium, and I will just paint in that plate just sort of around the edges. Maybe a bit of moon glow on this candle as well. So with my size 2 brush, it's kind of perfect for being able to paint in a little bit and then clean your brush off and take off the colour. I think I'll put like a little label on that candle, so we'll leave it like that. But then that's looking really nice. For the mugs and the kettle, I think we'll do red. I might be alright. I might want to go down to a smaller size brush, but actually I like the idea that it's got a bit of a metallic sort of enamel shine on it. So I'm just going to go around the edge of the flower, and you can see just by using quite a dilute amount of the red, we get a really lovely, a very sort of soft, gentle colour that we can always add a little bit more around the edges. And of course we can layer up colours when everything's dry, but it's all about starting with your lighter colours first, and even if that might mean completely unpainted bits of space, like the shine on that, the shine on the spout there. Looking nice. I've done an alizarin crimson book. The cookies, we'll just do raw umber to start off with, and then maybe add in a little bit of burnt sienna. And then we'll do our leaves in nice brown tones as well. But I think the the overriding theme with this is all the colours are gentle. Nothing's too bright and bold. And I think that for me is quite a good summing up of how I want this piece to make me feel when I look at it. I don't want anything to be really in your face and too bright. Because that doesn't really seem very accurate, does it? Some burnt sienna on these. Still using my size 2 brush for everything. Don't worry if you're sort of venturing off from your pencil lines, that's absolutely fine. That's why we do them nice and faintly. And we'll be coming in with some detail anyway in a bit. I think I will do alizarin crimson berries. And you can see even with the size 2 brush you can get a lovely fine point with these brushes. So these brushes, I mean, I must just say that they're just wonderful. Pro Art pointed round synthetic bristled brushes that I've been using pretty much exclusively from the beginning on YouTube, and you can buy them in my shop. And yeah, I'll always be a big fan of them. I mean, you know, you do need to keep replacing them if you use them lots. They're not, you know, brushes do get wear and tear over time, so I'm just using a little wet brush just to fill in 1 or 2 of those. Brushes, yeah, do get wear and tear over time, but you should be able to hold on to them for quite a while if you look after them. So here is some raw umber mixed with moon glow. And we have pretty much painted in all of the basic washes. So it means we can let this dry and then we can start to paint in some detail, which is my favourite part. Oh, you know what? Well, this might be this might count as detail, but if I get some clean water, I just want to use a clean wet brush. Get a tiny bit of cadmium yellow. Just get a little glow of that candle. Okay, let's let it dry and get on to the next stage. Now that's dried, it's just time to get your small brushes out and enjoy yourself. So I've got a 4/10, 2/10 and a size 0, which can be bought actually in a miniature set on my website and in my Etsy shop. Episode notes just down below there, got the link for you. But these are my 3 go-to brushes for any miniature detail painting, and it's my favourite bit, this bit, so I'm going to just enjoy myself and not rush through this process. It's really interesting. A lot of people say to me, oh, you must be so patient, as if the thing I'm looking for is the end. But for me, it's all about the process of the painting. The finished result for me is usually often, it will coincide with, I don't know, finishing a job or getting my YouTube filming done for the week. But actually, particularly with YouTube, because we always do it at the beginning of the week, so I start my Monday morning with YouTube filming. It's something I really cherish and look forward to, and it sets me up for the week so well. I was having a bit of a down day yesterday, and I don't know, I've always found Sundays a bit strange. A lot of people just adore a Sunday, but I'm quite an active person, and so I'm never quite sure what to do with myself when I've got spare time. And that's why I was really thinking about Hygge and trying to flip the narrative in my head and make myself feel positive about all this kind of you know, staying in, relaxing, all that kind of thing. I know that might sound really crazy for a lot of you that think that would be the nicest thing ever. But yeah, it's not the easiest thing sometimes if you're naturally quite a busy, active person. Okay, so I'm now doing alizarin crimson dots, and I thought I'd do like, make them like little berries or flowers or something. I'm not really doing them in a specific pattern as such. Now I've also got to remember that for Ant's sake, for editing this, I can't just sort of sit here and talk to you for the whole time, because this video will be about 3 hours long. So once I've got into this, I will start to sort of be a bit more efficient with my with my painting and my talking. But essentially what we're doing is we're taking a slightly smaller brush, we are getting in there with some detail, and my rule with this is always you take a slightly smaller brush and a slightly either more concentrated or darker colour. So I've just picked up some cadmium red. We know the mug was painted in cadmium red, and that mixed with the alizarin crimson is just adding a bit of texture and detail to it. It's not a case of just going in and, you know, colouring the whole thing in again, but it's just about being a bit painterly and illustratorly, is that a word? I'm not sure. Anyway, you can see how I'm going, so I'm just starting to add deeper colours, and even say now I'll go back into this texture here and add a little bit of alizarin crimson, just still sticking with my colour palette. And yeah, just enjoying myself. So I'm just slowly working my way round the piece, using these colours and colours that are sort of within the general spectrum that we talked about, maybe using some orange and some other brown tones, and I'm just building up the shapes and the colours really, and having a rather lovely time in the process. So just finishing off the little details, and of course we don't have a green colour in this piece, so say doing something like a leaf isn't an obvious thing, but just using in the stylised palette, using Moonglow, and because we're working within a specific colour palette, it works. And what's nice is you could just keep going. You could just keep going on and on and on. And you find extra little places to add detail, so little dashes around the edge of the plate's quite fun. And even if you suddenly look at the composition and go, oh actually I sort of feel like I'm missing something there, maybe we could pop in a simple leaf, maybe. And just, yeah, fill it up that way. Now I've rubbed out all the pencil around the edge, but I've actually added a pencil border because I think what might be really fun now, she says, with slight interpretation, is to do a wobbly little border around the edge. So I've got my size 2 brush, and I am just going to paint a very wibbly wobbly red border around the edge. And then here, if I can do it, I'm going to, in the middle, do a joined up wobbly lettering. And finish it off. Whoop, like that. And I think that's quite fun. And if you wanted, you could add a few little leaves in the corners. Let those dry and add a little detail. I think that's pretty cute. And there we have a really sweet little piece, perfect to make us feel cozy in these grey days. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.